A very good morning to you, boys and girls. It's Saturday, the 26th of May, 2018. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk. I'm just thinking, as we got to the end, it was far too late for me to do anything about it, but it would have been a good idea if I'd actually brought a cup of tea up with me today, wouldn't it? You know, I'm already feeling a touch parched. I'm already feeling a little bit parched this morning. I got up later today. It was a busy night last night, and it took it out of me a little bit last night, so I didn't get up too early. I thought as I climbed into bed last night was around about 2:30. I got into bed last night, I suppose, and I thought I'm not going to set the alarm because I've got a bad back. I must have done something last night. It's kind of at the bottom of the spine on one side, just above my bum. And it's hurting there a bit, and it took a while to get comfortable in bed last night, and I kept waking up, but never mind. We're here now, and that's all that matters. Now, you may have noticed something has appeared under the little Union Jack. Can you see under the little Union Jack? Where is it there? Can you see that there? A little text number has appeared. Oh, yes, it's all happening. Yes, something new this morning. How exciting is that? So, if Maureen... do you know, I've actually only done this for one person because I know she'd like to join in. But if Maureen's with us live this morning, you can now text the show along with anyone else. And I'll tell you a little bit about that later on. But it's working now, as far as I know. If you want to try a little texting, the phone number's up there. That's a UK text number. All right, a UK text number there. Yesterday, I saw an item in the paper. I wanted to start with this item in the paper. I don't know what you think about this. Half man and half chicken. Chicken. Yeah, it was in the Daily Mail yesterday, and I never got around to it. And the story goes, it sounds like something you might hear in a nightmarish science fiction film. Scientists in New York, in yesterday's Daily Mail, have created a half-human, half-chicken embryo in what some have described as sick and disturbing experiments. Sick and disturbing. I like that word. Are you feeling disturbed this morning? I am here to disturb you almost every single morning. I am a disturbance in your life, aren't I? How many sentences can you use the word disturbing in? Disturbed. Who's feeling disturbed? Are you feeling disturbed after watching one of these programs? Anyway, it goes on. Researchers hope that by transplanting human stem cells onto newly formed chicken embryos, they can find out more about how cells transform into fetuses. The findings could lead to a whole host of new treatments for developmental disorders. I mean, I've got plenty of those. I've got developmental disorders, or just mental disorders. I think that's what I've got. Absolutely. Who else has got a mental disorder? Hands up. I see a hand not up there. I think you're lying. I think everyone's got a mental disorder. Two of my great nephew and niece children. Oh, what would you call them? One of my great nephews, Harry, and one of my great nieces, Emily, are both disturbed children. They are completely and totally on other planets. I've got 6 great nieces and 6 and nephews, and 2 of them are on another planet altogether. Isn't that strange that they're not all on that same planet? Just those 2. It goes on. The scientific breakthrough has been met with repulsion among some people online. Among those to express their disgust was a Twitter user who simply said, "This is sick." Bernie, for the greater good, added, "For real, that's some sick stuff. No excuses when there are some supercomputers to do molecular level research." And I don't really understand. I'm not a scientist, so can a computer do everything that you can do with cells and things like that? And biology, again, it's just a complete mystery to me. So, disturbing? Well, perhaps, I mean, I think it said somewhere along there that they allow it to get to something like 7 days or 14 days, and then they destroy it. But where's that little bit I was going to read you there? Just a second. There we are. Now, here, just a moment. One moment. I've lost it now. There we are. The research was led by a team of scientists. They already know that embryonic stem cells can differentiate into any of the body's specialised cell types, from bone and brain to lung and liver. So I get that bit. So certain cells, okay, you've got certain cells in you that all they will do is make a liver or make a lung or make a brain or something like that. The story also says they also know that special groups of cells found in amphibian and fish embryos play a crucial role in shaping the early developmental structures. These groups are called organisers, give off molecular signals that direct cells to grow and develop in specific ways. So, what they did... When an organiser is transplanted from one embryo to another, it spurs its new host to produce a secondary spinal column and central nervous system complete with spinal cord and brain. Due to ethical guidelines that limit experimentation on human embryos, however, they do not know if a similar organiser exists in humans. So, as soon as these cells were introduced to their chicken hosts, the human cells began laying the groundwork for a secondary spinal column and nervous system, an act that clearly announced the presence of a true human organiser. So basically, human bits started growing. From what I understand, now I'm not, as I say, I'm not a scientist or biologist, I don't know, but from what I understand there, by putting something in the chicken cells, human stuff started growing inside that. I mean, can you just imagine being on a farm and seeing a chicken? I mean, presumably you could give it a brain. It would be able to talk to you. I wonder what a chicken would say to you. There is my question to you this morning. What would a chicken say to you? And then you couldn't, if you were eating a chicken then, well, it would be almost cannibalism, wouldn't it? What would the chicken say? Boop, boop, boop. Don't cut my head off! Don't cut my head off! Boop, 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 boop. Don't cut my head off! Don't cut my head off! Something like that as it goes into one of those ghastly factory farming machines. What do you think about that, eh? A chicken that could think and talk to you. I wonder if we could do the same to your pets. How wonderful would that be? To say that your little pussy might be opening its mouth and talking to you. Hello? Hello? Can I be stroked now? Or, go away, I'm fed up today, leave me alone. I think that sounds a lot better than a hiss. My mate's got 4 cats, and he says there's one of them that hisses, Veton its name is. Bit of a miserable cat, that one. And when it hisses at him, he said it smells like the hiss is actually coming from its bowels. Coming up through the stomach and then out through its mouth. Like that they go, cats, don't they? Oh dear. But I don't know if I'd want a chicken to talk to me. They're supposed to be extremely friendly. You make friends with a chicken and they will sit on your lap and everything and follow you around. Let's say hello, some of you on the internet this morning. Let's say who's got the first message in. It's Alan Russell. Good morning, Alan. Thank you for my fudge last night. I had 2 pieces. I gave some away. I can't be eating too many sweets. Last night was bad enough because it was Adam the plumber's birthday last night. So I bought him in I couldn't find any birthday cakes in the shop yesterday, so I got 2 large cakes and put them together. And some of those little round cakes with various different things on the top. And I had 2 slices of cake and a little cupcake yesterday. Very, very naughty, so I couldn't have your sweets as well, dear. That's too many treats in 1 week, lovey. Too many treats. So I had 1 piece of fudge, which was nice. My favourite is vanilla fudge. I don't like chocolate fudge. I think that's horrible, that is. Vanilla fudge, but thank you for it anyway. Vanilla fudge, lovely. Just normal vanilla fudge. Mmm. Yum, yum, yum. Have you been to Cornwall? That's full of fudge there. In fact, if anyone's abroad, I would advise them, if you're going to Cornwall, take boots, because it's made of fudge. Cornwall is made of fudge. As you're traipsing through fields, what's that lovely smell? And you'll realise you were actually walking on fudge. A lot of people think it's made in a kitchen or something like that. No, fudge actually grows in Cornwall. You know where the mountains and all that are? If you look, when you look at it, okay, when you get close up, you realise those mountains are not stone at all. They are fudge. They are fudge mountains. And what they do, they have some special miners in Cornwall, and they come and dig the fudge out, and then they shape it in squares, and they put it in little bits of plastic and a little box, and they sell it all over the world. Fudge from Cornwall. You are actually eating a part of Cornwall. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think it's made in a kitchen somewhere. No, fudge is grown. It grows naturally, not factory farmed. It grows naturally in Cornwall. There are some parts of Cornwall you can't go to now because the holes are so deep where they've dug all the fudge out of. You've just fall in. They have to wait for it to come back again. A bit like coal, but it tastes better. Well, I don't know if you've ever had a lump of coal. Not really a very pleasant taste, to be honest. I mean, some people like it. Pregnant ladies, they love a lump of coal now and again. Pregnant ladies. They do like a lump of coal and various other strange things when they're pregnant. Fudge, I don't think is one of them, fortunately, because we don't want to run out of it. So, when you go and buy this fudge from shops and places like that, please, just one box per person, because Cornwall doesn't want to run out of fudge. It's growing naturally, but it does take a little while to come back. You can walk on it, but you may need to wear boots, because otherwise you will sink into the fudge in Cornwall. Thank you. Good morning to Andy Baker. Morning, Andy. Diane Jebb. Good morning, you delightful lady. Good morning to Joseph Schoenbarger in the US of A. Good morning, Joseph. We're a bit later today. This is probably a bit more of a reasonable time for our American friends to watch, isn't it? It's about 6 o'clock in the morning there, I think. Depending where you are in America. Good morning, Angela Walters. Good morning, Angela. It's disturbing that the Queen behind you is looking at your neck. Well, there you go, darling. She's there, lovey. Isn't she a beautiful creature, our Queen? She did look like she was falling asleep at that wedding last week. It's nothing to do this week. People in Windsor are walking around. They got nothing to do. Is there another wedding this week? No. The next wedding is that Princess Beatrice. God knows how she found someone. Don't know how she found someone to like her. We shouldn't go on about looks, but you know what I mean? No. Oh, dear. Andy's put his hand up. Put your hand up, Andy. That's it. Ray Belasco. Good morning, Ray, who's loving the jacket. Yes, I'm multicoloured and multi-shaped today. I didn't know if this was too much for you to look at early in the morning. That's why I'm on later. So I could wear these jackets. And all the different... We like bright shapes and colours. We do. We're not having magnolia in this room, dear. White with a hint of yellow or something like that. No. Bright colours. The summer background is going up soon. It's going up next week. It's very foresty. That's all I'm saying. It's very foresty. That will be going up for June. So that will hopefully be next week, okay? Andy Chicken would say, keep me away from KFC. I'm sure it would. Alan, why did the chicken cross the road? I don't know. Why did it cross the road? The chicken would say, I'm no way going to cross the road, Angela says. Why would it cross the road? Into a factory farm. No, thank you, poor chickens. They have a rough time, chickens, don't they? I always make sure I buy those free-range eggs. And if I see someone picking up eggs that are not free-range, I glare at them. Like that. And I tap. Morning, Christy. Morning, Christy. Is not going to sleep. We are talking about chickens. Poor little chickens. They have such a hard life. Especially the ones they are born and shoved in a cage and die in there. What sort of life is that? Don't you care? No one cares. I care. No more dead animals in your mouths, please. Ben, good morning, Colin. Welcome, Colin. Hello to Mark Bradley. Here we are. See? Mark's from Cornwall. Is a Cornishman, happens to be watching. He is Cornish. So Mark will tell you. Mark will tell you where he lives. It's entirely fudge. Cornwall is made out of fudge. I'm sure Mark will come on and tell us in a moment. Andy says, I'm disappointed. I thought Cornwall was made of Cornish pasties. Oh, Andy, come on, mate. Cornish pasties are made in a kitchen, dear. What they do is that they kill an animal, chop it up into small pieces, put it all back together again, put some pastry around. That's done in a kitchen. Didn't you know that? That is a very, very strange thing to say, Andy. I thought you was a little bit more intelligent than that, lovey. It's only the fudge that, what Cornwall, as I say, like, for example, you get different rocks or different ground wherever you are. For example, here in Bracknell, or certainly in London, a lot of London is on clay. Well, in Cornwall, it's fudge. Here, I'm not sure where it is here. We've got a bit of clay here. My garden's not very good. I think the builders, when they built these houses in the, I think late 70s, early 80s, well, they didn't bother to take away the old bricks. Whenever I dig in a garden, I dig up another old brick here. Most annoying. Good morning to Mr. Ray Reynolds joining us today. Morning, Ray. Hello to MH Timro, watching on one of the Learn English websites. Welcome. Alan Russell, to get to the other side. Is that why the chicken crossed the road? To get to the other side. Yes, I'm sure it did. I've never seen a chicken cross a road. Have you seen a chicken? I bet you haven't, have you, Alan? I bet you've never, ever seen a chicken cross the road. No. Peacocks, yes. And what's those other things? Pheasants. Yes, we have pheasants round here. Oh, yes. We've got all the wildlife round here. Look at my best mate. That is real wildlife. Joseph said, I dated a half human, half woman, half chicken. I was henpecked. Poor chickens. Oh, come on, Mark. I'm sure it's true. All of Cornwall is made of fudge. Come on, you're just winding people up now, aren't you? That's very naughty of you. I hope you're not giving out fake news, Mark. Christy is from Kentucky. Oh, no, it gets worse. Oh, I hope none of you ever come... none of you chicken eaters and murderers come back as a chicken. I really do. Been hung up on that machine, and that's it, gone. Shoved into someone's fat stomach. Awful. Hello to Richard Matthews. Welcome to the show, Richard. Sarah says Devon is made entirely of clotted cream and cow dung. What do you get when you cross a rooster with peanut butter? I do not know. Let us know the answer to that one. All right. Alan wants to play the chicken song. That is one of the songs I really hate, the chicken song. I really hate the chicken song. Do not do that at karaoke nights. Mark in Cornwall. My fiancée, Kaz. Oops. My fiancée, Kaz, and I happened to see a chicken attempt to cross the road. Not sure if tempted fate with someone's Skoda. Mark... Well, are your roads made out of fudge in Cornwall? Or do they tarmac that bit over? Because that could be quite dangerous, couldn't it? But for cars, especially on a hot day, your cars would literally get stuck on the road. Do they tar that part of the fudge over? Do they put tarmac on top of that fudge so that people can drive around Cornwall? Otherwise, it would be very dangerous. Getting stuck. Oh, you'd all be stuck there like that. Oh, you can't beat fudge, can you? Oh, wow. Good morning, Ray Reynolds, who says, I'm like the multicoloured swap shop this morning. Can I swap my Rubik Cube for a chopper? No. I'm not having any Rubik Cubes. What a completely pointless and utterly useless toy that ever was. Oh, and you always get the clever bods at school. Done it. And you're still there 4 hours later. What is it that makes someone able to do a Rubik's Cube in 1 minute where you could take 3 weeks? I wonder why that is. Was anyone here good at doing Rubik's Cubes? Let us know. Oh, dear. I can't read that one out, Angela. That's very, very naughty, darling. Very naughty. Let's go over on YouTube. Good morning on YouTube. Paul Mosley in Birmingham. We were talking about farting yesterday, boys and girls, farting. And Paul says, I counted my farts yesterday. I got up to 35. Is it a problem, Chris? Well, I don't know. I think I have a problem. I think I've got a problem with it. I really do. Mornings to Joanna. Peter Lake's there this morning. Is it April Fool's Day? Not today, Peter. That's in April, interestingly enough. The clue is in the answer. April's Fool's is in April. All right. Guy says, who cares? Well, clearly you, because you made a comment. If you hadn't have made a comment, you wouldn't have cared and just switched off. So you clearly care. And we care for you, Guy. All right? I went to the swimming pool yesterday after I'd finished chatting away to you. Anne was in the swimming pool. Now, Anne, she's not a member of staff, but she is absolutely in charge of the swimming pool. Now, we like Anne. Me and my mate like Anne. My mate hasn't been swimming for a few days. He's got a bad chest again at the moment. But we do like Anne as long as she... But you've got to ignore her at first. Otherwise, you don't swim. She gets in the pool and she wants to... She's one of those that stands in the pool and likes to talk for long periods of time. Now, I can't do that. I've gone in to do my 60 lengths. Up and down I go. So, oh, hello, Chris. I'm all right. And then she tries to talk. But I can't really hear because the water's splashing around my head anyway. She's a lovely person. I quite like her. I really like Anne. But she's definitely in charge of the pool. She tells people off. She comes in, right, on the wall in the swimming pool. There's this like a speaker control thing. And when they have classes on, like the water aerobics, thank you, Guy. We love you too, Guy. We love you too. Remember that. Can I just go back to the fudge story? Mark says, I'm not living in Cornwall, buddy. I'm now in South Wales, but was born in Falmouth, Cornwall. And sorry if you think fudge is made from the ground in Cornwall. It is actually machine made, maybe with chickens. No, it's not machine made. It grows in Cornwall. And now, you see, you've given the game away there. I now live in South Wales. Well, clearly, fudge wasn't growing there when you was living there. So if you've moved, how do you know that fudge doesn't grow in Cornwall? Of course it does. You can't move for fudge. Fudge mountains, fudge next to the road in little piles. You know, like when it snows... You know, and all the ground is covered with snow. Well, that's like it is in Cornwall. Fudge. And sometimes when there's too much of it, you know, like when the snow is gone and you get these mounds of little ice along by the sides of the road, that happens there as well. And and you're not allowed to steal it. People have been arrested for that. People get arrested for that. If you're seen to stop your car and lean out the window with a spoon and start spooning fudge, you get nicked for that. Oh, yes. I think you first get off with a warning, you know, and you're only allowed, this is only in Cornwall. So if you come into the UK, right, it's only in Cornwall. The rest of the country's all right, but if you're in Cornwall, you are only allowed to carry 3 pieces of fudge for personal use. If you're seen with any more fudge than that, then that is frowned upon, and you will be done for being a dealer or stealing it. You're only allowed to carry 3 pieces, like square. They're about half an inch square. Okay. I'm not sure if you were caught with fudge in your car, I'm not sure whether they actually measure it with a ruler or they would just see 3. I mean, you know, you'd have to use your common sense on this. And often on this show, there's not an awful lot of common sense, but you'd have to use the police probably use their common sense. You know, if you had in your car 3 pieces of fudge that were 2 meters each. Now that's being silly, isn't it? You know, so about 3 pieces. Well, exactly 3, no more. 3 pieces of fudge, around about half an inch big each, and you are allowed to have that in your car and call anything more than that, and you're considered either a dealer or you've been stealing it from the side of the road. As soon as you're out in Cornwall, it's fine, you know, because otherwise, how would they be able to sell you boxes of fudge? And that's the other thing. If you've got sealed boxes of fudge in the car, that's okay as well. But it's got to be sealed with the plastic around it and all that. And as you leave Cornwall, you know, you go through the little customs area and they have a quick look inside. Sometimes you might get pulled over and they check in your boot to see how much fudge you've got in there, you know. Or you might get patted down by someone nice. They're quite nice. You get patted down, you see. You know, it's because some people, I don't like to say this sort of thing early in the morning, but they hide the fudge in their body. Oh. People have been known to put fudge, to steal fudge from the side of the road, put it in little plastic bags and insert it into their bottoms and carry it through like that. But the dogs can soon sniff that out. Because they got dogs. As you come out of Cornwall, they have a little row of little, what are they called? Little offices. I don't know what they are. Porter cabins, something like that. Little offices like that. And they have men in there and dogs. And they can sniff that. I mean, it's very embarrassing to get out your car and have some dog with its nose up your arse. Not funny. Not funny. So please, Mark, please don't say that, because people will go to Cornwall, you see, and start taking fudge because they're listening to you about the fact that there's no fudge growing in Cornwall. Please, darling, please. Now, let's have a look here. Colin says, I was born and raised in South Wales. No fudge grown there. No, well, it's not warm enough there, Colin. I mean, I thought that would be obvious. It's not warm enough in Wales to have fudge. You've got to have warm atmosphere there. And the rocks do something to each other and they mix up with something and fudge just is made. And that's it. That's it. Okay. Angela says we have kangaroos that make fudge in Australia. No, now you're on another planet, Angela. Kangaroos don't make fudge, darling. It can only grow in Cornwall. Why do you lie like that? Why have you lied like that, lovey? Fudge can only grow in... There is no other part of the world that fudge can grow. It's only in Cornwall. It is their big thing. The people of Cornwall are very, very rich on fudge, I'm telling you now. It's true. So please, Angela, don't you're just tempting people to come to Australia thinking that they can get free fudge. Everyone knows fudge doesn't grow in Australia. You're you're trying to get the people who are not quite with it, aren't you, Angela? I know your game, lovey. Hey? Kangaroos don't make fudge. It only grows in Cornwall. Thank you. Maya, good morning, Maya. Welcome to the show. Joseph says there's a tall man from Cornwall whose length exceeded his bed. My body fits on it, but barely upon it. There's no room for my big Cornish head. That's the tall man from Cornwall. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I haven't actually been to Cornwall for years, I'll tell you that now. No reason. Oh, Christ, how long ago? Must be 40, 45 years since. Cornwall was a beautiful place. And you know, there's a lovely smell. As you drive through Cornwall, that smell of fudge, it's blooming lovely. It really is. Got a text here. Someone says, remember... Oh, when you text, can you put your name and where you are? Otherwise, I don't know. I just get a number out. And you don't want me to read out your phone numbers on here, do you? Do you trust me not to read out your phone numbers? Someone says, remember when you were talking about mental illnesses earlier? When did you develop fudge mania? What do you mean, mental illnesses? What do you mean, mental illnesses? I'm just trying to assist people in their day-to-day going about lives. Ray says spaghetti grows on trees was the most remembered BBC television April Fool's show. I don't remember that. Spaghetti growing on trees. I mean, what a stupid thing. Who would ever think that? Who would ever think that? Dear. Thank you. Mark says I'm going to be in Cornwall in 4 weeks' time. I'll dredge some up for you and mail it to you. No, I can't have any at the moment, Mark. I'm on Slimmer's World. Please don't send me any fudge or any sweets or cakes of any description whatsoever. This is how I got into trouble. I put on 2 stone last year, and one of the reasons was lovely, kind, nice people literally kept bringing me in massive bars of chocolate, which I appreciate and thank you very much, but it really mucks me up. It mucks me up. Dear, dear. My messages have dropped down. There we are. Look, Angela's winding me up here. She is. Kangaroos mix the fudge in their pouch and then pour it into the Ayers rock to set, and you can eat it straight off the... Does that say rock? Rock. You can eat it straight off the rock. No, you can't, Angela. Come on. Kangaroos don't make fudge. It only grows in Cornwall. Fat-free fudge. No such thing, Mark. Now, you're making things up now. You're all making things up now. Why are you making things up and confusing people? Good morning to Billy Watkins. who says, got really sick on fudge as a kid. Can't even bear to look at it now. Oh, Billy, it's lovely. It is the best sweet ever. Fudge, fudge, fudge. Good morning to New Business TV this morning. Good morning to you. Welcome to our little show. Simon says, did you see the royal wedding? It's lovely and emotional, wasn't it? The Queen called off, smiled, and Victoria Beckham wasn't miserable. Oh, she's a miserable old cow, Victoria Beckham. Why would you ever want to meet her? Victoria Beckham, what a miserable old cow. She really is. Now, what story was her on? Now, can we move on, dear? Koala's here. Look, she's on one, Angela. Angela's on another planet. Koalas make rock candy fudge. No, they don't. That isn't rock candy fudge. Rock candy fudge is fudge from Cornwall, which is the only place you can get it from in the entire world, right? And then you mix it with marshmallows. That is rock candy fudge, lovey. I think you'll find that is correct. Yes. Morning, Adrian. Can we move on, please, from the fudge? Jimmy, you're obsessed with fudge this morning, aren't you? Absolutely obsessed with fudge. If I may move on for one moment, thank you. As I say, Anne is in charge of the swimming pool, and she comes in, and they have in our. I belong to the Hilton Hotel up the road. Now, don't think that's posh, because it's not. It's the Living Well, which is part of the Hilton Hotel group. Okay, and they have their own little sports centres and gyms and things like that. And a mini sports centre type thing. So they have a pool in there, and that's the one I use. And they often have this music playing, and it is the most ghastly noise ever. Ooh, ooh. I mean, it don't do anything. They're supposed to be relaxing. I find it an annoyance. When they have the water aerobics on, which is generally 20 sort of ladies of an age who go in and do their water aerobics at varying different times each day. So Monday it's 10 till 11. Tuesday, I don't know what time it is Tuesday. Wednesday, they don't have it. Thursday, it's 11 to 12. Friday, it's 12 to 1. Saturday, it's 11:30 to 12:30, and so on. Okay, so they have their water aerobics. Now, when they're on, they usually have good music. They can have some Sixes on. You could have Downtown, Petula Clark. You can have some ABBA on. 70s, Earth, Wind and Fire. And it's great. It's great. The only thing is, depending how many of the ladies are in the pool, depends how much room they take up, right? So on a bad day, you get one lane. Okay, it's not a massive court, and you're left literally with one lane, which for one person is okay. I say is okay. Let me tell you, when those ladies start doing their water aerobics, it's like the blooming North Sea in there. You've never seen so many waves in all your life. Waves coming up that, and you know how sometimes you hit the water, and a big splash goes in your eye, doesn't it? Oh, God. And it stings. I was told chlorinated water only stings if something's weed in it. And looking at the age of some of them in there, I assume that the wee is leaking out of them, dear. Leaking. They should be made to wear rubber knickers in that pool, those old ladies. And children in the pool as well. Children mess in the pool. All children in future, I'm going to write a letter to them. I'm going to write a letter. If we are going to have children in the pool, anyone up to the age of 8 years old, they must be placed in a sealed plastic bag and placed in the pool like that so that they don't mess in it. It's wrong. People weeing in the pool. That's why my eyes are stinging. Wrap them, put them in a plastic bag, seal the top, place them in the pool for, the given time that they want to be there. I don't know. 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, and then remove them from the plastic bag and let them get in the shower. What's the problem with that? No problem with that, is there? Then perhaps the rest of us can go in there without gulping down people's wee. Anyway, so the old ladies are in there, and sometimes there's a couple of blokes in there as well, and they do their water aerobics and all that, and the music is quite good. As soon as they finish, the boring music comes on again. Ooh, ee, like that it is. It is so boring, that music. Anyway, Anne comes in, she walks in, she just turns it off. She walks over to the thing. Hello. Goes over. Off. She runs the pool, does Anne. And she tells people off as well. She tells people off. Never tells me off or my mate because she likes us. We like Anne and she likes us. You know, if she's come into the fast pool, there's two sides of the pool. Like there's the mucking about side and for families and children. And there's kind of the... Well, there aren't any serious swimmers in there, but people who want to swim and not muck about. And it says adult lane here. You know, and generally the people in there are going at not massively fast, but at a speed. At a speed. So we're going up and down there. Now, if there's someone in there who's a bit slow, she was, excuse me, this is really for the faster people. This side is for the people not so fast. Would you like to go in there? She's so rude. Hilarious. And if she sees someone get in there who hasn't showered, she tells them. She watches them as they come in. Usually blokes. Usually the blokes don't shower. And she, as they come in, they put a toe in. Excuse me, I'm afraid you have to shower before you come in. And points, there's a shower. And they go and do it. They don't row with her. They go and do it. They get back out of the pool and they go and have a shower while muttering under their breath. I love it. We love Anne. She runs the pool. Anyway, she was in there yesterday having a bit of a conversation. She tells people if they take toys into the swimmer's side as well. You know the toys, like rubber things, like rings and what are those long... I think they're called woggles, aren't they? Long, like foamy things that people put... Oh, and they take up half the bloody pool with those, don't they? They put these things around their arms like that and lay back and take off almost the entire pool with their arm lengths. Excuse me, so you can't really use those on these side. That's for the other side. We just do swimming in here in a circle. And she points at the sign. Oh, thank you. And they get out. Anne runs the pool. She was in there yesterday, so that's quite nice. And we like that, actually. After that, I came back here, had some lunch, and then my mate came round in his brand new car, which only had 19 miles on the clock. He's got a new BMW. Now, my mate's had some nice cars over the years. My favourite car of his was about 10, 12 years ago. He had a Saab. A Saab, the most comfortable car he's ever had, I've got to say. Really, really nice and comfortable. And since that, he's had an Audi. That was okay. Then he had two BMWs, and I found them incredibly uncomfortable. They were low down. You know, like a sport. Well, they are sports cars. They're very low down. And you kind of get in, you know, you're climbing into the car and, like, you know, just about can see out. You just about see out the window. It's so low. And you pump the chair up, which comes up a little bit like that. And by the time it's up, your head's touching the blooming ceiling. And then he's over there and he's down there and I'm up there. And very, very uncomfortable seats in those BMW sports cars. I'm sorry. Now, years and years ago, I'm going back here 23 years, I had an old, clapped-out BMW. It was really old. The seats, all the, you know, you got the foam, and then you got the covering on the foam. What's that called? Just the fabric over it. That was all torn and worn away. It was the most comfortable car I've ever had. I'll tell you that. His BMWs, I think they must be special sports seats because they're incredibly uncomfortable. You can't get a good sleep in there when you're being driven around. Anyway, he's got another one now, and you step up to it. It's higher. Ah, so comfortable, dear. Although I'm not impressed with the dead animal seats that he's got in there. I said to him, fabric seats, dear. Nope, he's got leather seats. Dead animal seats. But there you go, one of those things. So I went in it yesterday. Oh, it was lovely. Oh, so comfortable. I sat first of all in the front, and his other half sat in the back. And then we swapped. Then he took me down to Lidl. Not Lidl, to Audi, because I had some shopping to get. So I went to Audi and popped into Audi and got my stuff in there. Then we popped to Sainsbury's, and that's where I got my new Vodafone SIM card, so that you can now text in, boys and girls. All right, I got a Vodafone SIM card that's in there. That's working now. So if you want to text the show, the text number is up there just underneath the Union Jack. 07551 259 675. Now, that text will only be on while the show's on. Don't be texting me at 3 o'clock in the morning. It won't be on, mate. And you won't ever get a reply. It's only to text the show, yeah? So you text in, I read the text out. That's as far as it goes. Won't be accepting phone calls or anything like that. Just used for texting the show. So if you want to write that number down, if you're ever out and about and you can't, or perhaps some of you, I know some of you watch on the television and you can't join in with the conversation by typing stuff and all that. You can now text the show if you want to. 07551 259 675 is the text in number. Okay, so that's all set up there. Went to Sainsbury's, got my Vodafone, set that up, come back here, had a sleep, and that's it. I've had fatigue for the last 3 days. I haven't got it this morning, so I'm hoping that's stopped now. I do have a little bit of a condition, boys and girls, that I pop down to the hospital in London twice a year to have looked at and check that everything's still working all right. But one of the things I'm susceptible to is fatigue. Now, fatigue. Oh, hello to Sarah Lou Lace. Good morning, Sarah. Welcome. Sarah's there as well. Oh, that's the other thing. Don't bother to do texting the old guess who, because I won't. I'm not even going to read it out. I'm not even going to read it out because there's no way I will know who's texting. I don't know that. I don't know who's texting unless you put your name and where you are. Otherwise, I won't know. So you need to put that on there. But don't put guess who. Won't be able to tell you. Okay? So there we are. We cleared that up straight away. Yeah, I get the fatigue sometimes. Actually, I haven't had it for 6 or 7 months. But it started about 3 days ago. Now, fatigue is not tiredness. That is not the same thing. Tiredness is where, I think I'll go to bed now. I'm a bit tired now. You go to bed. Fatigue is when you feel completely, totally and utterly drained and washed out and you don't really want to go to bed. You don't. Good morning, SOS Gregorian is using the text this morning. So it's all working. So it works. Works well, that, doesn't it? Yes. Thank you, sir. It's fatigue is when you feel completely washed out, totally drained. I suppose I would imagine that people who have chemotherapy have that sort of thing. Do you? If any of you have had chemotherapy or something like that, then I would imagine that you get a bit of fatigue as well. But I've had it for 3 days. It stopped this morning, and fatigue is something like you wake up in the morning. Usually I bounce out of bed. Last 3 days I haven't been able to do that. Oh, can't be bothered. And then you get up, you have breakfast, and then I was walking up to the swimming pool yesterday, and I thought, I just want to go back to bed. I'm so tired. And that's fatigue. It's different from tiredness. Similar, but not the same. So I have had that for a few days, but it's stopped now. I had it on the way to work last night. I had it at work last night. This morning I went to bed last night. I've got up this morning and it's gone. So hopefully I'll be all right again. But sometimes it can go on for weeks. It can last for ages. Sometimes maybe just one day. And then I can go for really long periods of time and none of it at all. And then suddenly, without any reason at all, it'll come. And it can be very sudden as well. You can be out doing your shopping. Oh, hello, how are you? Oh, I feel so tired now. Oh, God, I'm really tired. It's not like, it's not gradual, not like tiredness. So some of you, you might have a normal 9 to 5 day job. By about 3 o'clock, I suppose, I'm feeling a bit tired. And then it's downhill all the way, isn't it? No. At 3 o'clock, I would go from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock like that. Like that. And I know some of you watching the show have this problem as well with this little thing that I have as well. And you will suffer from fatigue. So I do know. I do know. All right. There's little smiling faces there. Thank you for my little smiling face. People are sending little smiling faces now. Thank you very much. So work last night. Another 2-hour journey getting there. What can you do? Fantastic night last night. I have to say, it was really busy when I got there, so I set up as quickly as possible for the karaoke. Karaoke every Friday and Monday night at Central Station in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross, if you want to come and join us down there. I was also trying, at the same time as hosting the karaoke, me and one of the managers were trying to set up Maine's internet. Now, we got Wi-Fi there. Those of you that watch the streaming, okay, the last few times you've been watching it tethered through the mobile phone. Well, I only have about 12 gig of tethering on that. And each time I do a video show, that's about 4.5 gig. So I only get 3 or 4 out of that. 4 gig, 4.5. I think something between 3 and 5 gigs, somewhere between that. That's how you've been watching it. So I've been trying to set up the Wi-Fi there. The Wi-Fi cuts out. It'd be all right for either 10 minutes or 3 hours, and then suddenly it's gone. It's so annoying. So annoying. So we've been trying to set up Maine's internet there. So you've got these two gadgets. One you plug in next to your router, and you plug the Ethernet cable from the router to that. And the other one you plug near to your computer that's broadcasting. So you plug that in the electrical socket and then plug the little plug from that into your computer. And that should work, but it's not working. And we tried last night, and we can only assume that the electrical circuits are on different circuits, because I do believe they have to be on the same circuit. So if they're on different circuits, it doesn't work. And we couldn't get it going last night at all. So very, very disappointed. We've spent, I don't know, about 100 quid now on various different methods of trying to get the Wi-Fi, of trying to get the internet from upstairs, which is 2 floors up, downstairs. And we just cannot do it at the moment. What we need really is a cable. Is a cable coming down from the router straight downstairs, and then that'll sort the problem out straight away. It's just getting the damn thing done. You know, drilling holes in windows and all that business. I don't think there's another way to do it. So that's a shame, but there we go. Apart from that, it was an extremely busy night for singers. 39 singers last night. Now, that sounds fantastic, doesn't it? And it is. It is. Don't get me wrong. It's fantastic to have 39 singers. But that means if you put 2 songs in, okay, the next time you sing, you've got to wait for 39 people to sing until it's your turn again. So 39 songs, that's 39 songs, say an average of about 4 minutes each. That's a long time. It's a long time, and what tends to happen is that people, they wait and they wait and they wait, and then they start moaning that they've waited a long time. And, you know, what can you do? You can't move them up the list just because that's how it is. What about everyone else that's been waiting for so long? What about the people that haven't sung yet? And it's very, very difficult. Very difficult. And you're getting a little bit stressed out when some people are a little bit pushy. Rarely, not many people are pushy. You know, I can count on probably 2 or 3 fingers the people that keep coming up and saying, oh, when is it my turn? And you must understand it's, you know, I can't stop once we get 20 people in. Okay, no one else is coming in. You can't do that. Everyone has to have a fair turn. 39 singers is too many for a karaoke night. That being said, what a fantastic night for you to watch at home, because so many different singers, so many different, and some great talent in there last night. There was a bloke I'd never met before. I think his name was Ray, and he sung Barry Manilow's Weekend in New England. Wow, what a voice! Where da 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 da, when will this strong journey end? And when will I hold you again? I feel the time coming, or something like that. He was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic he was last night. As indeed were all the singers. As I always say, it doesn't matter if you're a bad singer, just come and have a go. It's all about having a go. No one takes the mick out of you if you can't sing. Unless I know you really well and you'd be up for a joke, then I might do it. There was a bloke last night, Dave. I think it's Dave, who I know very well. And after he came up and sung with 3 of his friends, I'm forever blowing bubbles. And it was awful. Picked up the mic after they finished, and I said, do you go to other karaoke's or something like this? I said, in his nodding his head. I said, but there's a lot of other karaoke's around on a Friday night. I'd love you to try one. I'm dreadful, dear, dreadful. Good morning, Christopher. Good morning, Steve Murray. Morning, Steve. Hope you're well. Joanna wants to know what drugs I've taken. I don't take drugs, Joanna. That was in the 90s, love. Oh my God, I used to go to raves completely off my head every weekend. Not anymore, love. Well, at my age, can you imagine some old git? Well, actually they do. Some people don't stop. I know people in their 50s and 60s who still go out to nightclubs. Strangely enough, no one gets off with them while they're sitting there dribbling in the corner like we all used to do in the 90s. Oh, I'm terrible, aren't I? So that was the karaoke. Finished at 12. A fantastic night last night. Really outstanding night of singers. So there we are. Let's have a look here. Some people sang twice. Most people last night sang twice. No one sang 3 times. That's how busy it was. Some people only sang once. It's just how it is, you know. The people that were there when we started at 8:30, they sang twice. You know, if you came in after 10 and put a song in, you only sang once. It was busy by then. Hey, what do you want me to do? You know, take someone out and put you in just because you weren't there at 8:30. I know some people can't get there early because of work, but what can I do? What can you do? So the best way, the only way to do it is as they come in, you put them in the pile. New ones come in, they go at the bottom. Okay? Once you get to the top of the list, as you go right to the bottom of the list, once you get to the top of the list, if people start coming in at that point, you have to remember all those people that they have already sung, yes, but they have also been sitting there for 2 hours. So what I do is, so we start again at the top of the list, and as new people come in, I slot them somewhere down, sort of about halfway down, in between people, and that's how I do it. If you do a duet, it counts as 1 song each. You know, some people to sing more than others, and you cannot allow people to sing more than others because it's not fair on everyone else, and they notice. Oh my God, do they tell you? He's sung twice. He's sung 3 times. I've only sung once. You know, the fact that it was a duet, neither here nor there. They will complain. Sometimes I make a mistake. Especially when some people, they try the old one of putting down a different name. But don't worry, someone will tell me, he's already sung. Like that. You can't give anyone preferential treatment at all. No one. I won't push anyone up the list, but the only person that can do it is the manager. Okay? The only people would be the manager. And then they leave me alone in there. No one interferes. That's why I love it in there so much. So that was the karaoke. We had Peter Robinson in there last night, who's a great man. And he's had a shave. Okay, he had this grey beard, and he's had his different hair, and he's had a shave. My God, it's taken 10 years off his life. You want to tell these young lads who are walking around with these beards down here? It adds 10, 20 years onto your age when you've got these awful beards. Okay, a little bit of stubble's all right. We all like a little bit of George Michael, don't we? Around the face. We like a bit of George Michael around it. But these beards that are like this, that some of the young lads have got, it's awful. Awful. Anyway, Peter, I think he's close to my age, actually. I think he's just below my age. He's had a shave. Well, he's taken 10 years off his age. And he sung, he didn't get to my favourite song last night, which was Young Hearts Run Free. I love that song. Young Hearts Run Free. So Peter was there. We had Adam's birthday cake, because it was Adam's birthday last night. He came down. It takes him 2 hours to get home on a train. So you forget that sometimes, you know, although I've spent 2 hours driving to work. And I think sometimes you do become a little bit complacent, really. Whereas you're just going in to put the records on. That is their night out for the week. And I always try and remember that. Some people have spent an hour and a half, 2 hours getting to, whether it's my karaoke night or someone's DJ night somewhere else or someone's bingo night, you forget that that's someone's night out. And it's important to remember that. Don't matter how busy you are. And sometimes I'm so busy in there and there's like people trying to have conversations there. They're trying to have conversations there all over the place. And it's very difficult to keep going. Very difficult. Like sometimes there's a singer up there. I might have a singer next to me and there's someone at the front trying to have a conversation with me. Well, I don't like to do that because my attention should be on that person singing on the stage and making sure they sound all right. But the person at the front who's trying to have the conversation is often offended because I can't have the conversation with them and do that and keep an eye on the computer doing the karaoke and keep an eye on the computer sending the show out to the internet. There's an awful lot to do. And you're standing there trying to have a conversation with me. Really difficult, you know. God's sake, man. Who else was there? So, yeah, Adam, it took him 2 hours to get home by train. So there we are. So that was my day yesterday. What a busy day, dear. Busy day. Let's do some of your messages. Childers Jason, can you put the text number on here, please? It's there. Can't you see it underneath the Union Jack? It's under the Union Jack. Can you not see that there? Have another look. See if you can find it there. Let's just go down there. Oh, we're still on the fudge there. Hang on a minute. Let's see. Joseph says, in the state of Mississippi in the US, grows all our American fudge. We call it Mississippi fudge. I didn't know you did fudge in America. Mississippi fudge. That's not like Cornwall fudge, is it? That must be completely different. Is it made out of Mississippis? What are Mississippis? Are they small animals? Mississippis. I don't know what a Mississippi is. Is it a small animal? I would imagine it's very watery. Is it the American fudge? A bit like your beer. Is there any alcohol in it at all? Bud. Oh, God, Bud. Dear me. Angela says they sell fudge to Lassiter Hotel Fudge on Neighbours. Kylie Minogue, East Kangaroo Fudge. Dear me. Do they fudge in the pool? I hope not. Adrian, on the subject of wee is good for athletes' feet. You should appreciate it because we get that in the swimming pool. Ray Reynolds, does Dildo Lil go there? I don't know. Hello to Adrian's pussycat who's watching the show this morning. Morning, Jerry. Adrian, Rolls Royce, a good old people's can get into, and back seats, a wonderful dinner party in the back. Rolls Royce is a car I would love, Adrian. A Rolls or a Bentley, one of those two. I'd love a car like that. Perhaps a second-hand one. How much is a second-hand Bentley? Any idea? Oh, look, my sister's calling now. Just a minute now. Hello, sis. I am, yes. Okay, love. I shall call after the show. Is this an important call? Okay, I'll ring. I'll ring soon. Goodbye. She says a miracle's happened. A miracle. I can't wait to hear what that is, my sister. I'll have to wrap up soon anyway. Yes. Adrian says pregnancy, you can get fatigue. Well, that won't be happening here. There ain't been anything going on there for ages now, Adrian. They walk past me now. I used to be able to click my fingers like that. They walk past now and have done so for many years. It's all over. All over. Oh, God blimey. Just a minute. Yes, we are on air at the moment. Thank you.
Oh, all right then. Call me after.
Let them see you. Say hello to the people. Are you enjoying your new car?
Oh, I love it.
Can you tell us what it is? What car is it?
It's a BMW X1 X-Drive 2-litre twin-turbo X-Drive.
So quite similar to my Toyota. Quite similar to my Toyota RAV4 then, is it?
No.
I think it is actually.
No, mine's 4-wheel drive.
Well, mine's got 4 wheels as well. Thank you. I'll call you later. Goodbye. Flash bastard. Anyway, dear, what was I saying? Yes, Rolls Royce. Oh, I'd love a Bentley. I wonder how much a second-hand Bentley is. But then, I would imagine they're quite expensive to keep going, aren't they? Bentleys and Rolls Royces for servicing and things like that. I don't think I can do that myself, do you? Blimey, I'm no good with technical stuff like that, I'm afraid. Let's have a look there. Gregorian, I joined too late this morning. I've been watching Doctor Who classic film on London Live. Oh, which one? Was that the one with the Daleks and they dropped the bomb in the middle of the earth? The big red bomb. I love that. Peter Cushing. Oh, I love it. We like a bit of Doctor Who. My favourite Doctor Who was John Pertwee, incidentally. Andy really enjoyed the show last night. I'm glad you did, Andy. Ray Reynolds. Ray was good. He reminded me of Des O'Connor. That's the one who was singing Barry Manilow last night. And that's a compliment. He was really good. Really good, Ray. And you know, Ray, I've got to tell you, Ray waited an hour and a half, an hour and three quarters before I could get him on. That's how busy it was last night. You would have hated it, Ray. It was far too busy for you, mate. Far too busy in there last night for you, my darling. It's Mississippi fudge is darker, not watery like you. Our fudge is not watery. Don't upset the Cornwall people, Joseph, for Christ's sake. Sarah says Ronnie is bloody gorgeous. Oh, you're having a laugh, aren't you, Sarah? You know I used to go out with him about 27 years ago. I went out with Ronnie. Yes, 27 years ago for about a year. And ever since then, it's been a nightmare. A nightmare. And then that is the person, I'll tell you, I'm going to let you into a secret, Sarah. I'll let you into a secret. He's the one, I waited for 17 years for a second chance with him. Honest. And in that time, he'd be going out with people and then dumping them or getting dumped and then going back out with them. I never got the second chance. Never got the second chance. And eventually, you know, you find out about people and you think, oh, no, I don't really fancy them at all anymore. And that's where we are now. Wouldn't touch him with a bloody barge pole, dear. Oh, God, he's there. Wouldn't touch him with a barge pole. So then we become best friends, which is even better, really, to be honest. It's even better. Angela, does the new car run on fudge? Don't be silly, Angela. You're just being silly now. We had this whole sensible conversation earlier on about fudge, and now you're all being a little bit silly. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say it. There's Sarah, two gorgeous blokes together. Well, we were at that time. At that time. Oh, Christ. There you go. There you go. BMW X1 X-Line 20i X-Drive Twin Turbo. There's not a white hoods of the car industry. There's nothing wrong with my Toyota RAV4. Thank you very much. Which reminds me, I must check I've still got my AA membership. There we are. I must check I've still got my AA membership. I've got a feeling that's ended. I've got to find the little card that's in the car on it. Oh, it's getting warm now. We're going to have some lovely weather today. It's going to be about 80 degrees today out there. I'm looking forward to that. Hello to Kelly Kim, who's broken her ankle. How on earth did you do that? Been walking on it for weeks, all sad and depressed. Oh, Kelly Kim. Kelly Kim is a wonderful, wonderful girl. And she does a very important job. I think you want me to tell people what it was. She does a very, very important job. And is immensely popular. Immensely popular. Kelly Kim, top karaoke. So she's broken her ankle. You know what you need, Kelly Kim? Cornish fudge. That will make you feel so much better. Cornish fudge. There'll be someone on here now who will be able to get you some Cornish fudge. Yum, yum, yum. Guess what, Kelly Kim? I'm going to have a look at places in North London later tonight to see if a karaoke is possible there. He's asked me to go over and have a look at another one. That'll be another disappointment, no doubt. Kelly, Angela in Melbourne, Australia, wants to know if you slipped on fudge. All righty. We're going to wrap up now then, boys and girls. Let's do today's birthdays. Happy birthday today to Mark Anthony. Mark cleans my windows. He's a top man. And he's married to a lovely girl and he's got some lovely children. And it was so nice. For a while, I don't know how old his son is. I think he's 15. 15, I think it's 15, 16 maybe. And for a while, he was doing the window cleaning. Isn't that lovely to have like a father and a son type thing working together. Don't you think that's fantastic? My nephew, Jimmy, he's 21. He's got a car garage where he repairs the metal one. What do you call it? Bodywork. You know, if there's a scratch or a dent, he fixes that, right? Sometimes he's overrun with work and his dad goes down and helps him. How fantastic. Isn't that wonderful to have father and son working together like that? I love it. I love it. Happy birthday to you, Mark. 47 years old today. Happy birthday today to Nikki Dunn. Mark, did I tell you Mark cleans my windows? I did, didn't I? Yeah. Nikki Dunn. Happy birthday, Nikki. Fantastic photo, Nikki. Stephen John's birthday today. Happy birthday, Stephen. Shirley Isabel Wayne with a Scottish flag on her profile picture there. I haven't been to Scotland for years. I love the Highlands. I must go to the Highlands again soon. I keep saying these things and then another year passes. You know, I must do these things. I like walking. I'd love to walk with a stick, you know, through the Scottish countryside, looking at just the beauty and the wildness. They've got wild cats in Scotland as well, in the Highlands somewhere. Wild cats. Not as in jaguars, you know, small cats, like household cats, but they're wild. I wonder if they would eat me if I was asleep. Khalida Parveen, happy birthday, Khalida, to you this morning. Ray Davis, hello, Ray. 68 years old today. Happy birthday, Ray. Hope you're well. David J. James is 54 years old today. Tache David, happy birthday to Tache David. And Jordan J.J. James' birthday as well today. So happy birthday to you all, boys and girls. Here comes our little song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Thanks, everyone's birthday's done this morning. Thanks very much, boys and girls. Ken Floyd is in Canada. Oh, Ken Lloyd, I beg your pardon. Ken Lloyd's in Canada, who's just joined us. Unfortunately, at the end of the show, Ken. But if you really want to, and you've got nothing else to do with your sad life, then you can watch it back from the beginning again, because it stays up there as a recording, doesn't it? But I don't think you'll last more than a minute. See if you can last more than a minute before you turn off and get fed up with me rabbiting away. That's it for the show today on this Saturday, the 26th of May. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting away to you this morning. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks very much for watching and listening. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.